It's Ryan, and I'm back again with two amazing recordings that you won't want to miss. Each are ones that I've not done before. One comes from Maylor and one from Danny. Lately it seems I've been talking a lot about Emanuel Swedenborg's writings, and some of you may have some confusion about the similarities and differences the angels have been communicating to us. If that is the case, I don't want you to think that I'm using Swedenborg as a template for what we are learning here. You know, up until last year, I was reluctant to read other spiritual and religious writings in the event that they may influence some of my thoughts and the things that I'm learning. However, since the translations have become much clearer to me now, I don't see that happening. Until I hear it from God's angels, I will not promote it as fact, but throw it out there as a possibility. Yes, believe it or not, the only religious book that I've read from cover to cover in the past is the King James Version of the Bible, and that was a long time ago. I do, however, do brief research on other religions to understand their belief systems and how they relate to what the angels are saying. So comparing some of the things that Emanuel experienced with things that are happening in the angel scrolls was an important step for me, as I was not comfortable doing something like that before. In presentation 47, I started with several transcriptions from Victor's recordings that showed this relationship, and I suspect I'll do 2 presentations eventually on each budgie. I've decided to spread them out a bit though. My next one was going to be Victor's Sentinels of the Future, which is an incredible 2-video compilation of why the angels are communicating with us and how they foresee the religion in the future. So if you get a chance, you may want to review those beforehand in presentations 5 and 6. In this next short and fairly clear audio from Maylor, he talks a little bit about the parallax that I gave in presentation 47, and most incredibly, Emanuel shows up and makes a comment. This is just a sample of what he said. In one part in reverse, you can clearly hear, "This is a comment from Emanuel to Ryan now." This is what Maylor says in this recording. Fairly, I want to converse something about your forum. And then he says somebody's name and says to them, "Wasn't the parallax useful?" There's a lot found there. Practice picks up more. It's tough to make the correct version. Now that Ryan went out of his comfort region, he sees a vision for us in the forum that wasn't proven. It's tough when they believe that he, meaning Emanuel, was talking with evil. The event that is rising is a reaction to Emanuel's philosophies. This will give the forum some proof of Emanuel's vision. This is a comment from Emanuel now to Ryan. Show it's really a philosophy that you still trust in me if we enlist other ideas. All of us question something until there are others open to a process that will clear it up unless we ignore it. Is it Maylor? Is it? Maylor. I know there were parts of that which were difficult to understand, but for the most part it was quite clear, to me anyways. So when I grabbed this recording, I had no idea again what he was going to say. Yet again, the content referred to something I just had completed in the previous presentation. In presentation 47, I more or less did a comparison or parallel look at what Emanuel's angels were communicating, and if the angels here are speaking not only in a similar way, but also about similar things. So when Emanuel comments, I believe he's saying that I should still trust his vision. However, there will be further facts that clear it up, referring to how he talked about communicating with evil spirits in hell. You also have to remember that Emanuel wrote these things over 200 years ago, and he had to be careful about being labeled as a heretic, even though his writings pushed the limits already. But really, according to some that studied Swedenborg, they said, Swedenborg wrote about heaven and hell based on his experiences with God and the angels. He said God, with his love, intends everyone to go to heaven, and that was God's purpose for creation. Swedenborg said God never casts anyone into hell. The philosophy of God being angry at sinners was allowed because of the primitive level of understanding of people in biblical times. Specifically, fearing God was needed to keep the people of those times from doing evil, solely because of the fear of punishment by God. So this fear idea was in keeping with the fundamental beliefs that even they could understand. Even today, there are ministers who preach hell and damnation, putting fear in their members just so they will donate more each year. Some parents still use it on their kids, thinking it's going to keep them away from doing things that will get them in trouble. Fundamental Christians who believe that God would send us to hell often think that as long as they repent, they can do anything and get away with it. Unfortunately, if that person is evil and continues to do evil because he knows he will be forgiven each time he doesn't really seek spiritual growth. Without that spiritual growth, that person will not be sent to hell, but end up where he is most comfortable in continuing the evil things in life. Along with that comes much more pain and suffering, which is not a result of God's punishment, but humanity's laws and moralities, which are often different depending on which region of the world you live in. The next one is from Danny's Lesson in Prophecy, Part 1. In it, Danny talks about how people can witness something and even take a spiritual approach to it and still not really focus or see the truth behind it. This is what he says. You're going to repeat your fine lessons, and they will be feeling your story. Events will actually change that, for we know what we got will unlock anyone's door. Events we live by will often describe a door we went through. If there are Christians opposed to our prophecy, it may not be open. We'd love to show you how angels' writings can slip right through them if unchained. Even a window can help you look at a prophet we like to catch the truth. How many humans are reaching spiritually while watching and still ignore it? You may know the events that shall comfort your doubtful thoughts, and you can't ignore them. There are things in life that you can watch to be sure you're not ignoring facts. If all the vision has no point, you're not focusing. Okay, Danny, do you want to talk? Yeah, I'll leave that right there for you. So, in that last part, I think that Danny was referring to those who are watching and still not convinced, no matter how much proof they have right in front of them. That was the first time that I heard the transcripts referred to as angels' writings as well. I also liked the way he used the locked door analogy and how the door will be unchained if there are those who are open to the philosophies the angels are offering. The final part of this one, just like the dream transcriptions I've done in the past, comes together quite nicely. In it, Danny talks about how, with better focus, it can help foster fellowship in religion. He tells us why the experience will be useful and talks about some who will try and cause problems. He mentions that we should try and meet with other religions on middle ground so the angels can prove to them that they are here now. This is what he says. We know that with God's truth, we focus better, and it will help foster fellowship in religion. How does a prophecy ensure we have found a reason to experience it all? Because it has a result that we know is useful when everyone's having spiritual growth in their life, combined with their belief in religion. So we can help them follow some prophecies we have from God. This isn't for any religion that's out to make problems, because they think that our connection isn't with God. We are supposed to find some middle ground that we laid to help them to know we are here. If your attention shall hold all through this, it will help people to hear this dream that can stream from heaven now, while it's here in your life. I offer it to everyone who has passion in all this. I hope right there. I do like that. Now, I'd like to congratulate those who are starting to hear and feel this dream, for they've been chosen by God and His angels for a very special mission. It will also be a wonderful adventure, an experience of a lifetime that may last a lifetime. For some, it is a purpose in life, and others, it's the meaning of life. The angels beckon you for your help and wait patiently for your decision, no matter what it is. Even if you choose not to help, you may not even realize how it has already opened your mind to the possibilities that God and His angels are offering us.
That completes this presentation. To hear more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit our website at theangelscrolls.com.